girl mode. Girl's faster anyway. It's good.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, this is Wonderboy the Dragon's Trap, which is a recent, it's a few years old now, remake of the 1983, 4, 1980s Sega Master System classic, Wonderboy 3, The Dragon's Trap. Obviously, we're playing in 16:9. This is a Switch game. It's also out on PC and PS4, and I think maybe Xbone. I'm not sure. Really cool work that the team did with this, though. All of the games run the exact same. So I'm running on Switch. I can compete directly with somebody on PC, PS4, whatever. If you haven't played this game before, if you've never heard of the Wonderboy series, pick it up. It's super, super fun. It is very much an old school, like when people said adventure game in the 80s and early 90s when I was a kid, they meant games like this, and it's really fun. There's a ton of adventure and just exploring and figuring out secrets. The very start of this run, I'm going to be kind of quiet. When this game first came out, I did a lot of work to figure out a RNG manipulation route, which, if it goes well, is going to be super cool. And if it doesn't, we're all going to get to laugh together. But I'm going to be focusing on that for about the first 4 or 5 minutes of the run. You'll know that everything has worked well if I've picked up a couple of boomerangs by the time that I'm a few screens into the desert. And I've got backups. This is a marathon safe run. This is one of the few games that I speedrun that during a marathon I would not do the world record route, because the world record route tends to reset just about in every single section. It's real great. It's real fun to grind for the world record of this game.
Doesn't sound very fun.
I see a question in chat. Does it affect the sprite? That's the only thing that it affects. Realistically, it's not slower, it's not faster. It's just an option that they put in the game, largely because in Monster World 4, there's a, which is part of the Wonderboy series for lots of convoluted legal name reasons. There is a girl protagonist instead of just the canonical Wonderboy. So anyway, I think we're ready to start if everybody on the Restream side is ready to start.
Yes, we are. I got thumbs up.
All right.
Oh,
Then
by the way, we just
go.
hit $39,000. Woo! So,
Holy cow.
yeah.
That is several dollars for the Malala Fund, and they are going to make really, really good use of it. Everyone, thank you all so much.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is several $1,000s. So thank you all so very much. But I'll let you get started.
All right. So because I'm not going to be able to talk about it while I'm super focused on the RNG manipulation route, the entire run is manipulated, but the really important stuff is all front-loaded, which makes the run real stressful to start with. It's great. Movement, intentional damage, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. Let's see if it happens. Let's have some fun. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so here's all the plot. Take notes. All right, that was it.
Is that going to be on a test later?
Yep.
Okay.
So, when I was a kid, I actually had this Sega Master System game. It was hard. I never beat it. That has been story time with Dijon.
When I was a kid, I did not have a Sega Master System. End of story.
Oh.
That is story time with Zoe.
All right, so we switch to classic mode. It skips a boss intro animation. We got 3 drops there. And I can already tell you that we are not on the RNG manipulation route. I was just a few frames too slow at the start. So, good news. We are already in Backupville. This is going to be real fun.
Woo. Yeah.
Does Backupville have time for a donation?
It does. Go for it.
Excellent. We have another $100 from Gibbon, who says, Monster Lair hype? Oh, wait. Wrong game.
Yeah, different game there.
So I notice we are definitely a lizard.
We are. That's the thing that happened.
Also, you are taking hits, but your heart is never going away.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I said this back in October when I hosted the furthest the last time I saw it, but just that animation of the crouch and the wrapping, it's so adorable.
You'll get to see it.
So cute.
Fair bit during a later boss.
Yeah, the castle's on fire.
That seems bad.
Somebody should do something.
I'm good.
Okay.
No, we're fine.
We can get one of the really loud fire engines that goes by the hotel.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Would they be able to make the castle not on fire anymore?
I mean, that is ostensibly their job, so I would hope so.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you put it that way, it sounds like a silly question. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, also, just to reiterate, you are playing as a not a dragon, a lizard now. Is that right?
A lizard who breathes fire
But it's not a dragon.
and can bathe in lava.
But is legally distinct from a dragon.
I guess.
And legally distinct from He-Man.
I mean, I feel like we moved past that, but okay.
Well, I mean, continuity.
That's right.
I mean, there is a pirate ship there, I suppose. I'm now trying to shoehorn the Wonderboy universes and Shantae universes together in my head, and it's hurting.
So, here's a fun fact for you. The Shantae series was largely inspired by Wonderboy 3 because of all of the transformations, and Monster World 4 with Asha, who is the female protagonist in the Monster World series.
Makes sense.
So I'm gonna purchase a sword here. This is gonna be a theme. Armor is for chumps, but swords are good.
Oh, the best defense is a good offense.
All right, so we should be good for another manipulation. I'm gonna actually be forcing a boomerang coming up. And then after I do that, I'm actually gonna be still in a good state to force another one. So even redoing that couple of screens ends up being faster if you get 2 boomerangs.
Your health is so low, it's making me very nervous.
Don't worry, I have potions.
Oh, okay, I'm not nervous.
I wouldn't be upset, though, if maybe I was a little bit better off. But that's fine. Let's do the darn thing.
So I noticed that the boomerang is doing a thing where if you throw it and grab it again, you get to keep it, like you do with
You
boomerangs.
sure do. And also, you might notice that whenever I attack, as most of the transformations that you get, attacking is going to look... Sorry, I had to do some mental math to track where I'm at in the RNG right now. Most of the attacks are just swinging a sword, but currently attacking is breathing fire. Most of them will slow you down. But using the boomerang specifically, using almost any magic, will not slow you down. So getting boomerangs, which is reusable magic, is just real good. So these are frogs. They're jerks.
Frog facts. Frogs are jerks.
Frog packs.
Frogs
Yep.
are jerks.
those goat pigs?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Get ourselves set up on a good cycle here. Just run past everything.
Having flashbacks from the last time someone told me to say don't worry about it. I feel like it was just
Oh.
less than an hour ago.
Are you worrying about it now? Because if so, you should not.
Like, you've been doing the opposite of what Tina's been telling you to do this entire time.
I'm just a contrarian when it comes to Tina. It's fine. It's part of why we're friends.
All right, so we're coming up on the next boss. Important strat here is dealing damage right at the edge of the screen. That just skips one of those poison spit cycles.
Can you imagine if your spit was made of poison?
I can't.
It looks like popcorn.
Poison popcorn, though, that's the thing.
Oh. So it's the popcorn from the movie theater I used to work at.
Honestly, it looks more like
It doesn't sound appetizing.
looks like popcorn dipped in that like monster mayo.
Oh. I think that violates the Geneva Convention.
All right, so now we're a mouse.
Hey, mouse!
As one does.
Shoutouts to Xandra Vandra.
Hey.
Space Mouse, that was a super fun run.
It really was. We will not be going to
We
space.
are not
with
going
this.
to space.
Yeah. We're on the same
But
page.
there's a really cool statue coming up. Please enjoy the amazing artwork that was done for this game. Also, the music for this game is just phenomenal.
I love how there was a perspective shift on that. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they did real good work.
This music sounds like it's trying to be Zelda.
Now,
No, not all. It's legally distinct.
I mean, let's be real. When this game came out, like there was exactly one Zelda. Was there even one? There might not have even
was
been
about
one.
to
No,
say,
I don't think there
I
was.
was about to say, I think this game might predate the first.
Let's see, as
But
someone who has
anyway,
Wikipedia.
So there
in front
are
of her, let's find
multiple
out.
renditions of really the Master System game only had a few tunes, and the remake team just did a phenomenal job figuring out how to make variations on a theme.
Oh, Zelda predated this by 2 years.
Oh,
Okay, there you go.
so this was 88?
This was, 88.
So speaking of things in Zelda, every single one of those fireballs actually changes the RNG. So I mentioned that the entire run I'm having to keep track of the RNG state in my head. Doing jumps while counting those fireballs, real fun. Thankfully, these fireballs are not going to change the RNG.
That would be a lot of changes.
Yep.
Changes. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want us to get sued.
So as you can see, we're still well on the manipulation route. Picking up an extra potion there is very good marathon safety.
Those Cyclopses are very unhappy when you hit them.
Yeah, they're not super thrilled about it.
Yeah, one time I was gonna play this game. I got it
Oh, you
mixed up.
should. It's very, very fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, I ended up getting mixed up and got the wrong game. I ended up getting the one about the dragon who goes to Home Depot to put something down to not make a mess whenever he paints. I accidentally got the dragon's tarp.
I see what you did. It's an easy mistake to make.
Easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment for a donation?
Absolutely.
So Pattern Match donates $500 and says, Wonderboy 3 was one of my favorite childhood games, so I'm happy to help Malala Fund ensure that lots of other girls have great childhoods too. Thank you so much for your very generous donation, Pattern Match. And with that,
I'm blown away. Thank you. That is just
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
So this is Zombie Dragon. This fight is exactly as fun as it looks. Now's a great time to tell us about the Malala Fund that amazing donation just went to.
Yeah, absolutely. So Malala Fund is working for a world where every girl can learn and lead. With more than 130 million girls at a school today, they're breaking down barriers that hold girls back through investing in local education activists, advocating to hold leaders accountable, and amplifying girls' voices. And whenever you have a moment, we do have another donation.
Well, I'd love to hear this donation.
Excellent. We also have $25 from Wolf Shadow, who says, "Hello, GDQ folks. I am only sorry I didn't find out that this marathon was going on until Monday evening. The fact that Malala has taken a horrible act of hate to push even harder for girls to be able to push for education and be active in their communities is inspiring. Please take this meager donation. Much love to you all and Malala Fund. I'm ordering 2 of the shirts on the Yeti now as well. Much love."
Those Yeti shirts are freaking amazing.
Gosh,
Yeah, I'm getting that long sleeve.
I've ordered 2. I ordered both the long sleeve and the non-long sleeve variant because they're both adorable and Faith is wonderful and I'm excited. So if you want to get your own shirts from the Yeti, remember $5 from every shirt sold is going to Malala Fund. You can type !Yeti in the chat or go to theyeti.com.
All right, so quick update for what's going on. I'm a fish.
Oh yeah.
My superpower as a fish is that I can swim, which I suppose doesn't really set me apart. But I do have a sword and shield, so
Yeah, I feel like using the sword and
that
shield,
makes me exceptional as fish go.
having opposable thumbs as a fish is a superpower.
A fish
That
with the
does
8th
seem like a
generation of Pokemon.
Bad. That one was bad even for me.
I wish I was a fish.
I mean, just go through what Wonder Girl is going through, and you too could be a fish.
Haven't I been through enough lately?
Not if you want to be a fish.
Yeah, no,
No.
clearly not, because you're still not a fish.
All right, so we're coming up on a shop, and if you guessed that we are buying a sword, that's understandable, but you're wrong in this case.
It's a good thing I wasn't gonna guess that.
So this is where we pick up the dragon mail. The dragon mail is real nice because you might not have noticed because I didn't fall into the lava yet. But the lava used to hurt us, but now we can swim in lava, and that's real cool.
So the dragon's mail gives you the lizard's power.
Yes. Well, except that I still don't breathe fire, and
Okay.
breathing fire is kind of neat.
Gives you one of 2 of the lizard's power.
Yes.
Wonderboy and the
Also,
Dragon's Maid.
Isn't there a skip coming up soon?
There is.
I remember this.
Huh.
Yep.
So, neat fact about this game, it runs at 60 frames per second. It used to be that you needed to oscillate at roughly 12 hertz to fly as a fish in the original game. The original game ran at half the speed. I'll let you do the math.
I don't want to, but I'll do it later. Chat, do the math. I can't see you, but I trust you to get it right. Oh yeah, you're a bird now.
Yeah, also I'm a bird now. I guess I forgot to mention that. So there's an area there that forces you into a transformation. It's a really cool little challenge section. But it forces you to be a bird. You will have noticed on the save file that I am not currently, I don't have the bird unlocked. So what that means is that as soon as I change away from being a bird, I'm no longer going to have access to it. But hey, let's go back to the start of the game. This is pretty much a reset now, so let's just go back to the start. I messed up the manipulation. Let's listen to some tunes.
I also just want to maybe comment on the fact that you went from a fish to a bird, so this feels very Wind Waker-esque.
Yeah, well, both of them fly, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
It's a heavy burden to bear.
No.
That pun was a little fishy.
So I'm not supposed to be here. I'm way under-geared. I should really be a different transformation when going through this. Anything that I touch will kill me, which makes it really exciting. Also, I just got the best sword in the game. Actually, wait, no. Now would be a really good time for donations.
All right. Let me get everything pulled back up. I was very distracted here. So, I just want to remind everyone about some of the incentives coming up that they can put their money towards as we push forward towards that milestone 44,000 unlock Super Metroid, which we are now just 4,500 away, roughly. We have still the Learning with Liz incentives open. Crystal's ponytail has gained a little bit on Darkened Sky, but still needs some work to do unless you want to, taste the rainbow with Darkened Sky. And then the student is still LOK leading me and Garby by a little more than $24.99. So if you get what I'm getting at, LOK is winning by $25.
All right, so now it's time to go back to the game. So I'm about to do an area where we are supposed to be a lion coming into this spot. The lion does a ton more damage and takes way less damage as a base. So instead we're gonna do it as a mouse because I haven't unlocked the lion and I don't want to go to the lion's dungeon.
Makes sense.
Yep, this is gonna be fun. I actually really want that heart.
Floor ghosts.
Floor ghosts. Yeah, lots of end-game, enemies in this spot. Go. Can
Oh, I did a lot of
use some clever manipulations to get a favorable damage roll there. And just keep on keeping on.
I mean, with all the manipulation and keeping track of the RNG, are you even seeing this as a game anymore, or is it just a series of numbers?
I mean, all joking aside, there is an element of kind of approaching this sort of as a script almost, which is fun in its own way. There we go. So we did want to take that hit because now I can pick up a hidden potion.
Aren't all games really a series of numbers?
I mean, when it comes down to it, yes, that's kind of literally what you're doing when you're playing a computer game.
That's true.
All right, so we did just purchase a thing called the Tasmanian sword. You hear it referred to as the Tas sword a lot. And that gives us the power to transform to all the transformations that we've unlocked at will. It's not as strong as the legendary sword, but it lets us basically go through a bunch of spots of the game as transformations that we're not supposed to. So you'll see that I just turned into the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I need an audio cue here. Because that's frame perfect. So I'm the fish now. The fish actually does less damage than the mouse. But the upcoming boss is too tall for the mouse to hit. It's very sad.
Poor mouse.
These samurais are real rude, by the way. Anybody who's played this game is probably, like, super stressed out watching them. Also, these ninjas. Very rude.
I've only played the original and I'm stressed out.
I'm just perpetually stressed out. So.
That is a move.
It's fine. I think I'm finally going to break down and actually buy this game after this run. I've been meaning to since I did this hosting for Tina last time. So.
Like little ninja sounds.
Yeah, they're really good when they're not trying to murder you.
That sounds like most ninjas.
Sounds like most things.
So we're coming up on one of the more challenging bosses of this game to do fast. Really, one of the more challenging bosses of this game also to do fast. I'm gonna see if I can get the quick kill. Technically doesn't lock me out of the quick kill, but I need to not screw up again. There we go. See, anybody who wants a free world record, look at how poorly I'm doing this fight. Pick this game up and bop me.
Learn the manip. Reset a button.
I've made a bunch of how-to videos for the manip. Anybody who wants to pick this game up, all joking aside, the community is relatively small, but super, super great at helping people learn. One HP. I'm so upset.
Oh no.
So samurai conduct electricity.
Yes, that is correct. All right, so we just unlocked the bird legit this time. Nice thing about this game is that the internal logic really only tracks the maximum state that you have unlocked, which means that we don't have to super duper care about unlocking the lion. Unlocking the bird just gives it to us.
I love clever, like, programming shortcuts like that we get to abuse as speedrunners.
So, lion, fish, bird. Is that the code?
Yep, that's
that
the
was
code.
that was the code. Yeah, it was foreshadowing. Shantae is part of the Wonderboy universe, confirmed.
All right, so now it's time to just do a tiny bit of cleanup right at the very tail end of this run. But we don't have to worry about any of the puzzles anymore because I can just transform willy-nilly.
So that was definitely a lion.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lion.
You weren't
No,
lying.
Nope.
Nope.
It's banned.
So what is the magical saber that you went out of your way to go get?
It allows you to turn those blocks into regular blocks that you can break,
Ah,
which is required to unlock the final dungeon of the game, which we're in now.
so between that and looking at the estimate, we are about soon-ish away from time.
A few minutes.
Okay.
What are we at right now?
27, 16, 17, 18,
Okay.
19.
So is the mouse supposed to be walking through walls like that?
So yes, because of some weird limitations in the Sega Master System and how much memory they had to work with, this ends up just being how the game looked.
Oh.
I asked the same question multiple months ago. And I was just not remembering that I had asked it. I was like, oh yeah, the mouse can just walk through these walls and it's intentional.
Yeah. So these ninjas are real jerks. Oh yeah, those samurai do that if you get too close to them.
That seemed very rude.
Yeah, it's not great.
This just feels like the gauntlet from like Cannon's Tower. A lot of rooms over and over again.
Much less top down.
Yeah, so there's a ton of puzzles here where you're supposed to not have the Tasmanian sword. And you're supposed to figure out how to get through each area as like an individual critter.
But you have the Tasmanian sword.
But I have the Tasmanian sword, so we can use that to save time.
As long as the sword doesn't make you play Tasmania for the Genesis.
You know, I rented that from Blockbuster once as a kid, and I won't say I didn't regret it.
Yeah, I think I did too.
I had the Game Gear version as a kid. That was a game. You could tell me it didn't have more than 2 levels, and I would say, you're probably correct, because I never got past the 2nd level.
All right, we're coming up on the Vampire Dragon. I'm just going to let this cutscene play out. Like, they're very short, the cutscenes, but... Okay, well, that's rude. I wanted to...
I am uncomfortable with its stomach face.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. See?
The time is coming up when the Salamander Cross hits the ground. So we are 3, 2, 1, time.
GG's.
And that was Wonderboy the Dragon's Trap. It's a super fun game. If you haven't played it before, pick it up.
And if you're picking it up, like physically picking it up in a store, make sure you're paying for it as well.
Well, I mean, yeah, please do that.
Yeah, okay, cool. So that was Wonderboy, or Wonder Girl is what we played as. So the Dragon's Trap. Thank you so much, Tina, for showing off both of these runs. It's always fun.
Thank you.
It's always fun to hang out with you while you're doing these runs. And Dijon, thank you for keeping us company as well. You're
Thank you for being you. Thank you for being a friend.
That's the Golden Girls theme song.
Yes. But you know what? The long battlefield journey has finally ended.
It has. Do you have any last things you want to say, Tina?
Nope, that's it. The Malala Fund's great. You should all just be super enthusiastic about the amazing work that they're doing.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Tina. Let's go to our fancy break screen. All right, everyone. So just a reminder, I've mentioned it before. I'll keep mentioning it just because it's very important to me. Frost Fatales and other hotfix events and shows are brought to you by viewers like you. Your subscriptions and bits help keep the channel running for these fun events, including shows like Frost Fatales, random number generation, retro reboot, time capsule, learning with Liz, and more. If you like me or you like tinahacks, we both do a lot of work with hotfix, so you can find us there all throughout the year between main GDQs. We are going to get set up here. Not sure exactly what's coming up next. We're going to figure that out together, but I'm going to hand y'all over to a quick Twitch ad while we figure it out. All right, we are back, and we need a little bit more time to get the next run set up, so we are going to play a message from our friends over at Malala Fund.
Meu nome é Silvia Siqueira Campos, tenho 36 anos. Eu me envolvi no Mirim aos 13 anos de idade. Mirim é uma ONG para defender os direitos de crianças, adolescentes e jovens, com espaço para a juventude e para a criança falar. A gente utiliza, por exemplo, a arte para poder expressar o que a gente sente, então é necessário criar um ambiente seguro para poder falar de si. que eu enfrentei muito é o machismo, por ver uma mulher em espaços onde normalmente estão homens decidindo. Ao defender o direito de meninas índias à educação, a gente está defendendo a existência completa desse ser. Várias meninas faltam aula porque precisam ficar com os irmãos ou a irmã menor. De fato, melhorar o acesso de meninas à educação e à educação pública. 2/3 da população recifense mora em morro, em área de periferia. Existe pouca mobilidade na cidade. Para o acesso à educação, ou é a pé, ou é de bicicleta. Muita gente chega no Mirim de forma acanhada, né, tímida. Uma delas, ela começou a participar das atividades do Mirim aos 4 anos de idade. E com o passar do tempo, Gardênia se tornou, ela era a mais jovem do grupo, mas é a que mais fala. Ela concedeu entrevista para a rádio, ela tirou foto e apareceu na primeira página do Jornal da Assembleia Legislativa do Estado de Pernambuco.
Eu gosto muito da Silva porque ela é divertida, ela ensina. O meu sonho é ser médica.
É muito difícil a gente falar de um impacto, né, na comunidade, até mesmo porque a gente não consegue chegar a todas as pessoas. Mas a gente pode falar de pequenas mudanças, né? A gente poder mostrar que existe uma organização, um grupo de pessoas que se preocupa com a vida dessa família, dessas crianças, dos e das jovens. A primeira coisa é que a gente saiba que a gente não está só, que a gente procure soluções em conjunto. A gente que tem que decidir o próprio destino. Que elas vivam, que elas vejam que o Brasil é o lugar delas, que elas sintam orgulho de ser quem são.
All right, we are back. I am still here. I am still ZoeVermilion, and we are working still on getting that next run set up. Looks like we are actually bringing Tina back for an encore run with Shantae Risky's Revenge. But while all of that's going on and the lovely people in the tech room are getting that set up, I have a donation I would like to read, which is we have $50 from Hexness, who says, "So is the Dragon's Curse what you get at the start of the game when you don't turn off the laundry machine?" Thank you so much for that donation, Hexness. And if you are interested in running or volunteering for SGDQ 2020, I have good news for you. Submissions open for both runner and volunteer on March the 4th and will run through the 14th. So once they are open, you'll be able to submit at gamesdonequick.com. All right, we have a $50 donation from Ace Barreto. I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly, who says, "Hey, first time catching an extra GDQ event. Here's some muns for the cause. Please put this towards Reader's Choice Incentive." Oh, hey, that's me. All right, cool. I have let the donation volunteers know where I'd like the money to go. Thank you so much for your generosity. And we are ready with more Tina hacks. If you'd like the show we've put on for you so far, you're going to enjoy this. Welcome back, Tina.